Heart is highly modified blood vessel which starts its function from 7th week of intrauterine life and continues until the death of an individual. So cardiac cycle here is a cyclical events of electromechanical changes that usually occurs in every beat is known as the cardiac cycle. So before going into the details of the cardiac cycle, just I would like to show the simplest diagram of heart and its organization of the conducting system and pressure changes at the various chambers. So we have right and left side of the heart. So superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. So channels into the right atrium, and we have great vessel. So that is called arch of aorta emerging from the left ventricle, and we have atrioventricular valve, and again here we have pulmonary trunk which supplies the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the pulmonary circulation, again atrioventricular valve. So these are the valves, atrioventricular valves. This is tricuspid valve and this is mitral valve, and semilunar valves which guarding the great vessels, aortic valves and pulmonary valves. And we have conducting cells. So conducting cells conducting tissue or conducting fibers starting from the SA node, AV node, and internodal fibers and bundle of His, right bundle branch, left bundle branch, and lastly Purkinje fibers. This is how actually the heart and its conducting system appears. So broadly the cardiac muscle is divided into the two varieties. One is the conducting cells and second one is contractile cells. The conducting cells are the entire conducting system known as conducting cells, which it doesn't involve in the contractile, whereas the elsewhere cells in the cardiac tissue involves in the contraction. And cardiac cycle, as I mentioned, the cardiac cycle are nothing but the electromechanical changes that usually occurs in every beat of the heart. So before that, I just would like to mention the cardiac, the contractility starts from the the atria. Simply the cardiac muscle follows the excitation, contraction, coupling. The very simple principle, and this is a rule of thumb that usually that we see the excitation, contraction, coupling the skeletal muscle. The similar process also happens here. So initially the SA node ignites, and then rest of the conducting cells or conducting tissue follows the SA node, because SA node is having the higher rhythmic nature, higher rhythmicity. So per minute the SA node fires 6200 times. So this is the highest rhythmic firing conducting cells in the entire heart. So it simply acts like a engine for the train. So the locomotive usually carries the all coaches. So similarly the all conducting cells usually follows the SA nodal activity. And now let us see how this excitation brings about the contraction and thereby cardiac cycle. The cycle word has come from the circus. That means it starts from the one point and again comes back to the same point. So now let us start from the SA nodal activity, SA node excitation. So here I just drawing the SA nodal excitation. That means atrial excitation, and then ventricular excitation, ventricular relaxation. Again next event. So these are nothing but, this is nothing but a electrical activity of the heart, compound action potentials of the heart, or ECG simply. So this is the P wave. In this sense, the electrical activity of the entire atrium that usually ignited by the SA node, whereas the QRS complex is the depolarization activity of the complete ventricles, and again the T wave or repolarization activity of the ventricle. QRS. So there is a delay here. So this is called PR interval. So from P to QRS there is a delay approximately 0.1 second or 100 millisecond because the AV node usually made up of a long thread, folded thread. When you take a long thread, so it is highly folded long thread. So from here to here, so it reaching, to reach the activity from here to here, it takes some time. So that is the reason why the excitation which is arising from the atria would not immediately reach to the ventricle because the AV nodal delay. That is what shown here. So why there is a delay? Delay is essential in order to complete the atrial activity before the ventricle initiates its contraction. So how heart actually contract? So atria contract like this and ventricle contract like this. So for example, this is an atrial complex, this is ventricle complex. So when atria contract, ventricle relax. When ventricle contract, atria relax. So this is how heart contracts. So they won't be contracting together because there is a delay. So delay makes separate cycle, separate complex contraction and separate complex contractions. And of course there is a fibrous tissue in between atria and ventricle which separates the both the complexes, and the connection between the atria and ventricle is only by bundle His. And now we see the electrical activity of the heart, complete heart. Now this is excitation. Let us see the contraction, excitation, contraction, coupling. So once the atria finishes its excitation, and so the 1/3 of excitation, it starts contraction. This is atrial pressure, and again it corresponds second wave, right? So this is a mechanical activity, this is an electrical activity, right? So here the pressure from 0 it reaching approximately 7. I am just drawing here left atrial pressure. The left atrial pressure lies around 7 millimeters of mercury. And now coming to the right ventricle, the right atrium, right atrial pressure lies around 4 to 5 millimeters of mercury. It's the lowest pressure usually records in the right atrium. When we look at the left ventricle, so this is atrial complex activity, one contraction and relaxation, again contraction, because here one excitation, contraction, electrical mechanical activity. The pressure is reaching around 7 millimeters of mercury. When we come into the left ventricle, this is the left atrium and this is left ventricle. So the maximum pressure in the left ventricle that we see usually 120 millimeters of mercury. So the minimum pressure usually 0, whereas in the right ventricle maximum pressure 25, minimum pressure 0, right? So now, so let us see the pressure in the ventricle. So it also started from 0. Once it finishes the atrial contraction, so there is a delay, okay, and then the ventricle picks up the electrical activity, ignites, or depolarization of the ventricle is seen here as a QRS complex. As soon as the QRS complex is finishing, so we will see the peak, increasing the pressure, and again next cycle like this. So this is depolarization of the ventricle and this is repolarization of the ventricle. So as soon as it completes the 1/3 of electrical activity, the ventricle completes 1/3 of electrical activity, the pressure starts contraction. So this is mechanical activity. It's from 0, the ventricle pressure reaches, I'm drawing here 120 as a left ventricular pressure. What happens in the great vessels? Now the main function of the ventricles, pushing the blood into the great vessels. The main function of the atria, pushing the blood into the ventricles. So always the blood from the atria goes down to the ventricle, whereas from ventricle the blood has to move into the great vessels. So this is the rule of thumb. This is a simple principle because the arrangements of the valves is such a way that the valves will not allow regurgitation, backflow of the fluid or blood when they contract. Suppose, for example, imagine when ventricle is contracting. So ventricle always contract from below upwards like this, whereas atria contracts above downwards. Atria propels the blood into the ventricle and ventricle try to pushes the blood into the great vessels. They contract like this ventricle because the initially the electrical activity or electrical firing will hits the apex of the ventricle, then thereafter it goes to the base. So exactly the contraction also follows like this, the squeezing towards the great vessels. So as soon as it started squeezing or increasing the pressure, so the pressure once it reaches just above the atrial pressure, for example in left atrial pressure, this is left ventricle pressure. Once it reaching the pressure above the atrium, what happens? The blood try to go back to the atrium, here left atrium. But it is not possible because the valvular direction is such a way that the valves, as they feel the pressure, the valves closes suddenly because the pressure pushes the leaflets towards like this, towards the closer position, so that there is no possibility of the blood going back into the atrium, left atrium. The similar case is seen in the right side heart also. The maximum pressure in the right ventricle usually generated 25 millimeters of mercury because the pulmonary bed offers very minimal pressure. Why there is a high pressure in the ventricle, left ventricle? Because the blood has to pump all over the body, even against gravity up to the brain. So that's the reason why the left ventricle has to have the maximum pressure in order to pushes the blood into the great vessel. So now the pressure, once it reaches 120, there is a pressure, minimal pressure lying in the great vessel, that is arch of aorta, is 80 millimeters of mercury. Once the ventricle relaxed, as I mentioned, the excitation initially starting from the SA node, atrial contraction is over. While atria contract, ventricle has to be relaxed position. So during that phase, the atrioventricular valves usually opens and the great vessel valves usually closed, because the minimum pressure in the great vessel, the arch of aorta, has to be 80 millimeters of mercury. Unlike ventricle, minimal pressure is 0. So why there is a 80 pressure, minimal 80 pressure? Because even at ventricle, even the ventricle is in relaxed position, the blood in the, whatever blood already being pumped in the great vessel or that aorta has to maintain its continuous flow to the body. The blood flow in the aorta or great vessel or large vessels are not interrupted. It's a continuous flow. Okay, and the this is minimum and maximum pressure 120 millimeters of mercury. So here, somewhere here, the pressure of the vessel, as the ventricle switch over, the building up of the pressure, once the pressure starting to build up from 0 to 120, so gradually reaching towards the 120. So once it crossing the 7 and above the atrial pressure, so these valves closed. So this is where you see the closure of AV valve closure. So this is where you find the first heart sound, closure of the AV valves. As the pressure increases the ventricle, okay, up to 120, somewhere here around 80, so the valves in the great vessel, arch of aorta, usually opens. That is called semilunar valve open here. Okay, and again something like this. The pressure in the arch of it. I am just showing the pressure in the left side of the heart, not in the right side here. So 180 is a minimum pressure in the arch of aorta. So the pressure is exceeding than the ventricular pressure is just above than the arch of aorta, in order to propel the blood, because the fluid always moves from the high pressure to the low pressure, right? So this is how the atrial contraction, this is all mechanical activity. So this is all electrical activity, always excitation followed by contraction, electrical activity and followed by mechanical activity. So this is left ventricular activity. And here, then what is the duration of the cardiac cycle? As I mentioned, cardiac cycle is duration around, suppose for example, if the heart rate is 75 beats per minute, the duration of the cardiac cycle lies around 0.8 second, 0.8 second. So in this, I may already have mentioned the atria contract separately, ventricle contract separately. When atria contract, ventricle relax. This is how heart contract. So that means there are separate cycles. The contraction here is systole, relaxation diastole. So let us see the atrial cycle. Atria contract approximately 0.1 second. This is atrial systole, and diastole 0.7 second. Together 0.8 second. 0.8 second is atrial cycle. And similarly, so here the same point, 0.1 second. From here to here is 0.7 second, right? This is atrial systole, atrial contraction and atrial relaxation. Again, this is next cycle, next contraction. Now, coming to the ventricular cycle, ventricular contraction, ventricle systole, ventricle relaxation. Ventricle systole 0.3 second, ventricular diastole 0.5 second, 0.3, 0.5. Here, so the ventricular contraction starting from here 0.3 second, from here to somewhere here, and ventricular diastole starting from here to 0.5 second, altogether 0.8 second. I just involved next subsequent atrial activity. This is one atrial activity and second atrial activity, so on cycle. I just involved atrial activity also here. I'll just explain in the last of the video why I just involved in this timing 0.3, 0.5. So once AV valve closure here and semilunar valves open. So here what happens, semilunar valve here open, here closure, because the pressure during the diastole during the relaxation. Once the T wave completes, once the excitation of the ventricle completes, contraction completes, and it has to relax, again the pressure in the ventricle has to come back to the zero again. Okay, this is where the pressure is just going below the 80, the 80 pressure lying already in the aorta. So since the pressure in the ventricle goes below than the aorta, now the pressure in the aorta is more than the ventricle here. So what happens? The blood try to come back as the ventricle relaxing. As the ventricle relaxing, the pressure going towards the zero. The blood which is there in the great vessel here or here try to come back. So while the blood trying to come back, so the valves which are arranged in this direction try to shuts off. So that is how the valves, semilunar valves in the great vessel will closed. Then here again the pressure even going down below than the atrial pressure. So now the atrial pressure is somewhat higher than the ventricular pressure when ventricle undergoes complete relaxation, zero state. So that means the ventricular pressure is even going below than the atrial pressure. This is atrial pressure, this is ventricular. So in this situation, what happens in this case? So whatever the valves, AV valves, here AV valves opens because once the pressure going to the zero here ventricle, the atrial pressure is higher, right? That means the fluid from here, the blood from here try to come down from high pressure to the low pressure when pressure in the ventricle goes to the zero. So this is where AV valves opens, right? Because the direction of the AV valves is in this direction, try to open because the pressure in the above is higher than the ventricle. Atrial pressure is more than the ventricular pressure. So this is how the atrial contraction, atrial relaxation, ventricular contraction and ventricular relaxation. Again ventricular contraction, second cycle, third cycle, something like that. So this is total cardiac duration cycle. Some physiologists usually segregates further the timings of this entire Vigeur's diagram. This is called Vigeur's diagram. So I just made it very simple. Suppose, for example, take a clock. So this is a clock, okay, wall clock. We have 12 o'clock, we have 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock here, and this is 9 o'clock. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So this is how the timing of wall clock appears. This is the center. Once you take the cardiac cycle, entire cardiac cycle, for example 12 o'clock, I just took as a 0.0 second, the beginning. That means starting of atrial excitation, SA nodal excitation on atrial complex contraction. So this is what. So this 0.1 second or 0.1 second here equivalent to 1 hour. 1 hour equivalent to 0.1 second. I just for understanding sake, I just drawing this diagram. Okay, so 1 hour equivalent to 0.1 second. That means this is atrial systole. Atrial systole 0.1 second, and atrial diastole 0.7 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 second. I think you got the meaning what I want to say. So this is 0.7 second, 0.1 second atrial systole. This is atrial diastole, AD. And coming to the ventricular activity, so beginning from here, ventricular activity starting from here and up to here, right? So ventricular systole is somewhat here, 0.3, 1, 2, 3. This is ventricular systole, 0.3 second, right? And again, the ventricular systole has been subdivided. In this, there is a very fractional area, okay, of the 0.1 second, 1 hour. So that is 0.05 second is called isovolumetric contraction phase. Once the ventricle starts building its pressure from 0 to the 120, the beginning phase from here to here, sharp rising of the pressure in this phase is called isovolumetric contraction phase. There is no change in the volume, but there is a pressure change. Pressure building from 0 to the 120, okay, but there is no change in the volume, because in order to push the volume, in order to push the blood into the great vessel, the pressure in the ventricle has to reach 120 and 25 millimeters of mercury in case of right ventricle. That means the pressure in the ventricle has to exceed the pressure lying in the great vessel. Here is 80 and pulmonary trunk is 9 millimeters of mercury, right? So this is called isovolumetric contraction phase, 0.05 second. Rest of the, rest of the 0.25 second is of remaining phase of the ejection, 0.25. So here this phase is 0.05 phase. So what I just did over here is atrial excitation is completed, 0.1 second, 1 hour equivalent, and second ventricular systole 0.3 second. Out of that, isovolumetric contraction where there is no volume change but pressure is building up from 0 to the 120. So this is comes around 0.05 second, whereas the rest of the ejection phase, once the valves opens here, once the pressure crosses beyond the 80, beyond 9, here and here, the blood try to go into the great vessels, because always the blood moves from high pressure to the low pressure. Okay, in this situation, the pressure in ventricle is very high in both ventricle than the pressure in the great vessels, right? Now, this is the phase, 0.25 second phase is the ejection phase, subdivisions of the ventricular systole. And coming to the ventricular diastole. Ventricular diastole starts from the protodiastole. So protodiastole means it's a very minimal phase comprising around 0.4 second, 0.04 second. So just it beginning to relax. That means it reaches 120 and again try to come back to the towards the 0. Just beginning of the relaxation phase. Okay. So that is here. So this, because this now let us see the complete ventricular relaxation phase from here to here. What is this? 0.5 second. So 0.1 second, 0.2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second. So this is called ventricular diastole, 0.5 second. So I mentioned here the 0.04 second is the protodiastole phase. Proto means just beginning, diastole, just phase of beginning of relaxation. So very minimal phase, entire cardiac cycle, very minimal phase. So here, because this entire area is diastole, this is protodiastole, 0.04 second protodiastole. And again, once the semilunar valves close because the pressure in the ventricle just dropping below than the pressure in the aorta. This is 80 pressure, you know. So from here to here, that means from 80 to pressure 0 of the ventricle, right? As the ventricle relaxing, so this phase is called isovolumetric relaxation phase, that is comprising around 0.06 second, altogether 0.1 second. So that means 0.1 second. So not here, here somewhere. So this is protodiastole phase. This just the beginning of the relaxation phase, protodiastole. Diastole means relaxation, proto means just beginning. And then once it reaches to the pressure from 80 to the 0, that means with the ventricular pressure, that is called isovolumetric relaxation phase, the same phase like isovolumetric contraction phase, but this phase is lasting 0.06 second. Okay, altogether 0.1 second. And then we have again 1, 2, 3, 4.4 second. Out of 0.5 second we have subtracted 2 subphases. Okay, now once the pressure goes to the 0 in the ventricle, because ventricle now completely relaxed because T wave is over here, mechanical act. Okay, right. So now once it goes to the 0, that means below than the atrial pressure, now the valves, atrioventricular valves are opened and try to rush into the blood is trying to rush into the relaxed ventricles. So this is called filling phase. So that lasting around 0.1 second. First rapid filling phase. From here to here somewhere 0.1 second. First rapid filling phase, because now pressure in the ventricle is 0, but just pressure in the atria is little bit higher. Okay, so and then again diastasis 0.2 second. Diastasis, that means from here to here 0.2 second diastasis. The longest the duration of the ventricular diastole 0.2 second, 2 hours, 0.2 seconds, equivalent to 2 hours, just for the sake of remembrance, right? 0.2 second diastasis means the continuous relaxation phase. That means maximum amount of the blood being filled into the ventricle. Since ventricle the pressure is 0, relaxed state, filling phase. And lastly we have finished 1 second here, 0.1 second of 0.04 is protodiastole and isovolumetric relaxation phase, and 0.1 second is first rapid filling phase, 0.2 second diastasis, that comes around 0.4 second. Now we got last area is 0.1 second, last duration out of 5. So this is called the rapid filling phase, last rapid filling phase, 0.01 second. That means again next subsequent atrial activity, because already the cycle is finished here, the relaxation, and again the next cycle is switching over here. So this is called last rapid filling phase, is comprising around 0.1 second. Now 0.1 second, 0.2 second, 0.1 second, entire 0.1 second is total, 0.5 second is completely relaxed phase. So this last rapid filling phase again coincides the contraction phase of the atria. So since I mentioned the cardiac cycle starts from the atrial contraction, so while atria contract, the ventricle has to be relaxed, completely relaxed phase, because the blood has to move from here to here. Of course, the atrial contraction propels the blood up to the 10 to 15% of the total ventricular filling, but it has to be zero pressure. The ventricular pressure has to be zero while atria contracts. That means, so the beginning phase of the atrial cycle is equivalent to last phase of the ventricular filling phase, because the ventricular pressure has to be zero while atria contracts. So that is how the cardiac cycle usually, continually supplies its blood to the various parts of the body. So here the question comes, how heart actually continuously contract throughout the life without any break. So heart usually contracts seamlessly without any break. So since the cardiac cycle is lasting 0.8 seconds when heart rate is at 75 per beats per minute, we can look at the contractile phase in case of atria is very minimal, 0.1 second, whereas relaxation of the atrial complex is 0.7 second. Here contraction phase of the ventricle is 0.3 second from here to here, 0.3 second, whereas relaxation of the ventricle is 0.5 second. That means the majority of the total contractile period, the total cardiac cycle, the heart is in relaxation phase, heart is taking rest. This may be one of the reason why heart is continuously contracting throughout the life without any break. This is all about the cardiac cycle. I hope you understood the cardiac cycle. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching.